What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're checking out a video from GameRanks, and their video is titled "What the hell is going on with Call of Duty?" I'm wondering that too. Let's check it out.
Turned on Call of Duty recently? Well, if you have, you might notice how off things are. Something just doesn't feel right in Call of Duty land. For the past few years, it's had its fair share of goofy operator skins and hideous Technicolor gun camos. But even by accepting all the goofy stuff that's been going on with the series for a while, the multiplayer just doesn't feel like Call of Duty anymore. The siren song of cross-promotion has invaded the military shooter with the BS pop culture detritus, and it's just not sitting right with fans. With Battlefield 6 on the horizon, and the developers behind that game promising more subdued skins, it only further emphasizes just out of control the skin situation in Call of Duty.
Okay, so let me just ask this question to you guys watching right now. Feel free to leave a comment below. Does anyone else not really understand why Call of Duty has leaned so much into the ridiculous skin stuff, like the Nicki Minaj and all that stuff? I just don't get it. And maybe that's just not connected to me. Maybe that's more connected to they're trying to grab on to the younger generation below me, like the people who are growing up with I don't know, Fortnite. Maybe they're trying to get that Fortnite squad to hey, we have skins here too and do things. And it's I don't really hate skins. I'm not necessarily against them, but I do think they're really dumb. A lot of them are really, really dumb. And it's interesting because I could see myself maybe picking up a Master Chief skin or a Marcus Phoenix skin or a Doomslayer skin. I could see myself buying something like that for this game, but I'm not going to buy Nicki Minaj. I'm not going to buy any of that stupid skins. I have no plans on doing that, but they keep making them. So people are apparently buying them. I just don't get it. I don't know anyone who's buying them. They must just be the younger generation of gamers just going into the Call of Duty and being like, I can play as Snoop Dogg. I can play as Beavis Butthead. Oh, I buy Beavis Butthead now. I don't get it. And maybe that's just the thing. Maybe Call of Duty isn't meant for my age anymore. Maybe it's not meant for me. Maybe I've grown out of Call of Duty. Now that's an interesting conversation. What I can tell you is that Battlefield 6 is looking pretty good. And the fact that they're not going to dive into these stupid skins, that's a big selling point for me anyways. I haven't heard a lot about Call of Duty 7 yet, though. I'll probably cover this in this video, but it's one of those things where it's I just don't get it. And the thing about those, I just mentioned about Master Chief, Marcus, and Doomslayer, is that Microsoft owns those characters. They own them. It would cost them nothing to make those and put them in Call of Duty. They would be printing money. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Like I said, maybe this isn't meant for me. Maybe it's meant for younger kids who are used to Fortnite bullcrap. I don't know.
Gotten. The recent reveal of Beavis and Butthead may have
I
been
just
the
talked
straw
about
that
that.
broke the camel's back for a lot of people, because look at them. They're Fortnite characters in this context. Yep. But the whole operator skin situation's been brewing for a while now. The American Dad skins are just as bad, but maybe players were willing to accept them as just a one-time thing. But with Beavis,
and the issue is with the Beavis and Butthead specifically is the way their heads are. You can shoot them in the head, but it doesn't register. It's what's the point of a headshot if my headshot doesn't register? The hitbox is all messed up. If I shoot them in the head, if they want to wear this stupid skin that makes their head twice as big, then that should be a full hitbox in my personal opinion. You mess around, you find out. That's just the way all things work. That's how life works. I don't know.
Beavis and Butthead, it's pretty clear that the cartoony skins are not over. For a lot of fans, that means Call of Duty has jumped the shark. It's gone way too far with this stuff, from a relatively serious series to a cartoon. And maybe that wouldn't be so bad, but the problem is that the series continues to sell itself as a military shooter to be taken seriously. So when you throw in literal cartoon characters, like the dumbest of the dumb.
Yeah.
That's not an insult towards Beavis and Butthead. That's just intentionally a very dumb cartoon. But there's a massive disconnect that comes along with that. Contrast what the average Call of Duty
and there's
match
Nicki Minaj
looks like compared to Battlefield 6, and
I
it's
don't
hard
get
not
it.
to think that the series has lost its way. So there's a lot to talk about here. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on GameRanks. So what the hell is going on with Call of Duty? All right, skins are where the conversation starts, but it does not end there. It far from.
Okay, TMNT is kind of part of like old gaming culture too, so I'm okay with them. I think that they're fine. Would I prefer them not to be in the game? Yes, but is it that big of a deal? No. Some skins like wrestlers, I guess that's fine too. I don't care about that, but like the extra dumb skins, especially the ones that kind of like don't work with hitboxes, like that's the type of shit that needs to go. Like no one asked for it, take it out. Like let Fortnite have that. That's their thing. Stop. What I'd really like for them to do is like something like this. You can buy like an operator, not an operator, but you can buy like a armor set, like a whole armor or clothing or whatever they want to say, gear set. And then you can take different pieces of the different gear sets you buy and make your own custom character. Now that would be cool. That's what they should be doing. Not this. This isn't, I don't know. This isn't the Call of Duty that I remember. And then again, like I said, maybe I've aged out of Call of Duty, but that's just my opinion.
Far from it. The whole thing started with what could otherwise be an innocuous Reddit post with a simple image comparing the original Call of Duty to whatever.
Look at this. See, this is the Call of Duty that I grew up playing. These original bad boys. And this is what it is now. And here's the thing. Seth Rogen in his heyday is awesome. Of course, Jay and Silent Bob, amazing. I love them. I all three of those people. I love them. You know, Seth Rogen's political side has kind of gotten a little rough over the last couple of years, but I love these people, or what they're portraying. I love them, but I don't want them in Call of Duty. They don't make sense. You know, put Master Chief in there. At least he's like a video game culture soldier. Marcus Phoenix, video game soldier. Doomslayer, video game soldier. Like, it works in the context of what a game is. It's not just some random skin from a movie. Like, even this like Seth Rogen one, I don't even think that's a skin from a movie. I think it's just like a Seth Rogen skin. Like, one of the execs ran into Seth Rogen at like some type of meet or a bar and was like, hey, do you want to be in Call of Duty? We'll pay you money. And Seth's like, yeah, man, sure, I'll be in Call of Duty. You know, it doesn't make sense.
Is going on in Black Ops 6 multiplayer, showing skins of, and I'm completely serious here, this is where we're at with the game, Seth Rogen and the superhero duo of Bluntman and Chronic, Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, good on our man Kevin Smith for getting the bag, but what? And those are some of the more reasonable operator skins they put in the game
for
recently,
sure.
Because at least they're based on people, like human beings that physically exist in the world. At the same time, is what I'm getting at, is the Beavis and Butthead skins came around. They're literal cel-shaded cartoon characters slapped into the usually gritty, realistic world of Call of Duty, a military shooter, a war zone, literally, like several of the games are called Warzone, and it's just really hard to ignore player complaints that the series has been slowly evolving into Fortnite when they're literally just putting characters that, I mean, they would be in Fortnite and not like adapted to the real. I don't know if you could adapt Beavis and Butthead to the realistic aesthetic without it looking like a Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob close up. But I mean, they aren't doing that. It's just they're literally just doing what Fortnite does. Discontent with the direction Activision has been taking with the series the past few years has been building. Something that should be building is our subscriber count. Did you know how many of you are not subscribed? A lot. It's a large percentage. Too many. I mean, you can help us out and help yourself out if you like new Game Ranks videos popping up in your feed by clicking subscribe. But yeah, discontent with the direction Activision has been building. It's been spurred on by a few
shameless plug
stellar entries to the series,
I
the
like
obvious internal struggles of the game's many internal studios that we've heard plenty about over the last few years. Modern Warfare 3, regardless of the improvements it made to the multiplayer game, was a blatantly incomplete mess of a video game that should not have been full price when the whole thing was reheated leftovers from the canceled Modern Warfare 2 remake multiplayer and a campaign that was mostly a series of multiplayer maps stitched together into what was the most disappointing campaign for the fan base that, I mean, I can remember. Like, people were not happy. The developer struggles are
it was pretty bad.
Even now with Black Ops 6.
I didn't even finish it. It was so bad.
Up with Black Ops 7. That's the first time we've gotten Black Ops games back to back, and from the same lead developers, no less. That means that Treyarch and and Raven are putting out 2 games in just 2 years, when these things are supposed to have 3-year release cycles where developers like Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward alternate between releases. Of course, we're past the point of just one developer working on one game. All these studios are supported by smaller studios, multiple smaller studios, still within Activision, like the terminally wasted High Moon Studios. But the fact that Black Ops 6 and 7 are coming out back to back just doesn't paint a particularly positive picture about what's going on behind the scenes at Activision. The devs try to paint it as a good thing, as is their job to do. They apparently started development on Black Ops 6 and 7 at the same time, but 2 Black Ops games back to back could not have been the original plan. Reading between the lines, this year's Call of Duty feels like it's going to be another one of those off years for the series. Even if it could end up proving us wrong, it's a feeling that at least right now, leading up to the game's release, it's people are not, the hype is not reaching fever pitch.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. A lot of people are not happy with what they've seen with the Black Ops 7. The truth is, I didn't even play the campaign for Black Ops 6, and I played enough of the multiplayer, and after a while, I just haven't touched it. And I play Warzone a lot. Like, I play, like, Resurgence, and that's fun. But it's one of those things where it's like, the multiplayer I have not touched in several months, and I only play the multiplayer when my friends are on, right? That's when I play the multiplayer. So it's one of those things where I do feel like the battle royale side of Call of Duty is just kind of keeping it going. Like, at this point, the multiplayer, no one plays. So I assume they're going to release Black Ops 7. That's going to flop. A lot of people are going to get mad at it. And then the next year they're going to do like a Modern Warfare 2019 thing where they reset the whole situation. They started from scratch and everyone really likes it, and then they're going to slowly ruin it again and then reset it from scratch. Everyone likes it, because there was a span of time where like no one played Call of Duty. And what was it? It was Call of Duty after Modern Warfare 3 and then Black Ops 2, right? I think it was after Black Ops 2. After Black Ops 2, you just saw this like drop in quality and people just stopped playing it. And there were some games in there that weren't that bad. I think it all started with Ghost. I think Ghost was where it really started going downhill. But after Ghost, I think I played that a little bit and said, nope, not for me. And I didn't touch a Call of Duty again until Modern Warfare 2019. That was where it all kind of restarted and it was good. So I think based off the timeline, probably not, obviously not this year, maybe not even next year, but the year after that, we're going to see a nice resurgence and the original good feel for what Call of Duty is supposed to be, especially with Battlefield kind of coming out and they stealing a lot of their thunder. I can see it kind of lighting a fire underneath the Call of Duty team. So who knows, maybe they'll get better. But I definitely think that elements like stupid skins is really driving people away again. So they just need to fix it. The gameplay itself is relatively fun. There's obviously some issues here and there, but when it comes down to it, it's the extra bullshit that these games do that people are just done with. And instead of just dealing with it, people are just leaving. And especially when there's an alternative, which is giving them exactly what they want, which is Battlefield. I really like the idea of Battlefield 6 being really good, so then Call of Duty actually tries again. So that's important.
As it sometimes can. Expectations are pretty low for Black Ops 7, and Battlefield 6 is getting a lot of praise and positivity from its betas. The franchise is not in a particularly good place right now. It just doesn't help that the series' identity has been slowly eroded by all these crossover brand deals. It just makes it look bad, like you have stuff that hasn't worked along with all this crap that doesn't need to be there. It's just not, it gives you the willies when you really think about it. For such a long-running series, the whole Fortnite-ification of Call of Duty really only started in the last half-decade or so. They dipped their toes into crossover stuff with some safe bets like John McClane from Die Hard, Judge Dredd, Rambo. Stuff that, I mean, while it's certainly not Call of Duty, it doesn't feel so out of place.
Yeah, those are fine. I think those are fine.
Things up. And then with Vanguard, they took a big leap into the microtransaction deep end with that bizarre Attack on Titan crossover. Like, in all seriousness, Rambo does not look out of place with the rest of Call of Duty's real-world military milieu, but the Armored Titan certainly does.
Yeah, that's dumb.
It looks ridiculous, as does their attempt to bring some costumes from the series, like this widely ridiculed Levi crossplay costume. It's laughably bad. Still, I will take this, where they at least tried to adapt the anime style style into a more realistic Call of Duty one over what they're doing now with American Dad and Beavis and Butthead, where they don't try to adapt them. In fact, they do things that probably required special scripting because there was nothing else in the game that looked like that. Like cell shading is in Call of Duty now. And not like on all the characters and all the backgrounds, but on some characters. Like even Fortnite changes things to fit its style. And to be fair, it's because it is a more stylized thing. When they have more realistic human characters, they turn them into cartoons. And when they have cartoons, they adapt the cartoon style to at least kind of fit into the Fortnite world. Peter Griffin comes to mind. But again, I want to call some attention to the fact that a realistic version of Beavis and Butthead would likely look like Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob close-ups. I'm not going to go with that because you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't there. Yeah, you could adopt
or just
style.
don't. Just don't do it.
Maybe be a bit
just don't
more
do
of
it.
a travesty, though.
It's that
I don't
easy.
know if I need to see Beavis and Butthead look like that. I don't know. Maybe they could go for the Ryan Gosling and other guy on SNL versions. I don't know. I don't think that would necessarily undo everything that needs to be undone, though. In the short term, all these crossover deals and brand extensions probably make sense. I'm sure Activision is getting money for advertising. People like seeing IPs they recognize, and they are charging absurd prices on operators. Seriously, $20 is generally the minimum floor for this stuff, which is crazy for what is essentially an avatar in a game that has new versions of it come out.
Who is buying
year.
them?
And I'm sure Activision and now Microsoft
Who is buying Snoop Dogg?
Super happy with the money they're making. Again, short term on this stuff.
I know they're making bank, but who is buying them? I don't get it.
But the result is that it's diluting the Call of Duty brand. It's starting to feel less like its own thing and more like a Fortnite imitator.
Fortnite,
And,
yes.
well, I think we know how that market goes. You can't beat Fortnite at Fortnite. And the people who play these games for the tactical aspect, they're not happy with this shift to kid-friendly, multicolored clown nose nonsense.
That's true.
I wouldn't call it that if, it weren't Call of Duty either. In Fortnite, it makes perfect sense. I have nothing insulting to say there. But this is a sharp and gritty and realistic game. It's not supposed to look like, Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or something, or MTV in the mid to late 90s. These games are still rated mature. They still deal with serious subject matter, even if the campaigns are slowly slipping into exaggerated Fast and Furious level storytelling. The Black Ops series is especially known for its dark subject matter. These were games that were somehow even darker than the main Modern Warfare titles, and the whiplash between the way the game presents itself in multiplayer and that, even if the campaign isn't great, or hey, it could be great. I don't know. Maybe they'll give us a really good campaign and it'll be.
Do you guys remember when Call of Duties were just good? You knew you were gonna get a good one. Every year during the 360 days, except for the last one when Ghost came out, and I actually think Advanced Warfare, Infinite, whatever the one after that one was pretty rough too. But remember those days? Those are good days. You knew you were getting a good campaign. You knew you were gonna get some fun hours and hours and hours of multiplayer. And it was nice in 2019 when it all came back. And then slowly got taken back away from us. It's just disappointing. I think that's kind of how all games are. Regardless of how good modern games are, they'll just never have that magic that older games had. I don't know.
Really gritty and dark, and we won't know what the to think when we turn multiplayer on. I don't know, but it's jarring. It's super jarring. Whether it's good or not, the presentation is just super jarring. With Fortnite, it makes sense. The tone is consistent. Fortnite is cartoony, and everything is cartoony in Fortnite. For Activision's part, they do at least seem to be aware of the complaints. After Black Ops 7 was revealed, they acknowledged the cosmetics complaints with a statement that said they would calibrate the operator skins in Black Ops 7 according to player feedback. It's one of those corporate non-statements, though, where they say stuff like, "We're listening, we hear you." Or
they're going to keep on doing what's making them money. And apparently making stupid skins makes them a lot of money. So they're going to keep on doing that, just the way it is. It'd be nice if they actually went with what was actually good for the game and healthy for the game. They don't care about that though.
Ears are open, the words are coming out of your mouth, the sound waves, they're traveling towards our ears, they're entering our ear canals, it's vibrating our eardrums, which, as you know, are swirled tunnels with tiny hairs that pick up on vibrations in the air. Those vibrations are coming from your mouth. They're words, we can hear them, we're listening. You're calibrating the skins. You're gonna calibrate Beavis for me, huh? Cornholio status calibrated. I don't know. It's really impossible to say if they're actually doing anything or if they're just talking, just saying words. I don't know. Maybe in Black Ops 7 they will maybe take a few steps back from the slippery slope. Even though, if we're gonna be serious here, they have jumped off of that slope. There was a shark at the bottom of that slope. They cleared the shark with that.
The slope is too steep at this point. The only way they're going to fix what they did, the damage they've done, if they do a complete redo again. That's just the way it is. The damage is done. If you want to refresh and try again, you got to clear the map and start again. That's just the way it is. It's too deep. You cannot fix it at this point. You got to delete it all, restart.
That jump, and they have not looked back. I mean, it's kind of meaningless because all the skins and gun camos that do carry over into at least season 1, they're here for at least that period of time, at least. With Black Ops 7's focus on cyberpunk stuff, I feel like they're probably going to go further with the wacky skins. A sci-fi setting that heavily emphasizes virtual reality means that it's easier to justify whatever ridiculous nonsense they put into the game.
Is that the new one?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, there is a possibility that you could play that in a way that does reflect some kind of dystopian weirdness that exists within our actual society today, making it good commentary. But also, have I described a situation in which it sounds like that's going to be the direction they go? Like, the setup is pretty important for the punchline. In fact, arguably more important. And the setup up until this point of the video does not indicate that there's going to be a good punchline.
Okay, so commenting on what I saw from Black Ops 7 so far. I appreciate the fact they're trying something. They're going all out with a lot of like more of the psyche stuff, because I like that stuff in the original Black Ops. So I think they're trying to call back to that. But I will be honest, I'm just not interested at all. Like, I haven't played the Call of Duty campaigns for a long time, but I'm just really not interested in Black Ops 7. I'll probably still keep it on my computer to play Warzone and stuff, but as far as actually buying the game for the multiplayer, which I wouldn't buy it for campaign, so I'd buy it for multiplayer, I probably won't buy the multiplayer. I'll just play Warzone. Like, I have zero want to buy that, unless of course if it goes on sale for $30, or if Activision wants to send me a free copy, I'll take it. But it's to the point where I couldn't see myself paying $60 for that game, and especially not $100 for like the special edition. I know for a fact they're going to be selling, because they always do one of those. But no, not this year. Not getting me this time. I'm gonna move over to Battlefield 6 for my multiplayer type stuff. I'll keep Warzone for my BR, but Battlefield's gonna be my my multiplayer game. That's just the way it goes.
It is a joke, though. It is a joke. We can say that, at very least. With that, though, it may be a little easier to see why they've shifted to focusing more on Black Ops as a sub-series, where they can make games that are a little more disconnected from real-world politics that could cost them international sales. With games like this, everything is calculated to make as much money as possible. But if they go too far with that whole profit thing, it's going to piss people off. Critics, fans alike don't like that. It seems like Call of Duty is an unbreakable juggernaut that's never going to go away. It's just something we're all probably stuck with for the rest of our gaming lives, whether we like it or not. But it's not necessarily the case. A lot of things seem permanent that aren't necessarily. And a lot of things...
You can't kill Call of Duty. That's true. It's just too big of a monster. You cannot kill it. But you can make it bleed. And if you make it bleed enough, it will eventually have to try to heal those bandages. Pretty much my motto on this channel whenever I talk about video games or movies, whatever. Vote with your wallet. If you don't like what you see, do not buy it. If you don't like the skins, do not buy any skins. I would even say, if you don't like the game, don't play the game, right? Like specifically stay away from it. And in fact, not only don't give Call of Duty money, but give your money to Battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Like, show Call of Duty, hey, I have money to spend. I'm not paying it on you. I'm giving it to someone else. That's really going to send a message and make them change their minds.
Things can change.
It is true. That's how you get them.
Battlefield 6 will humble the mighty Call of Duty this year, and maybe that could cause a response in Call of Duty, or maybe not.
It will.
It's honestly impossible to say. It's a series.
I think it already did.
Multiple catastrophic games that would sink a less resilient one. If it can bounce back after Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 4, the series can survive basically anything. I don't think it's going to be one game or some bad microtransactions that finally end up sinking Call of Duty. It would take a whole lot of factors coming together for the series to finally fall off its pedestal as the most profitable game of whatever year it releases in. There's no denying that Call of Duty is a monolith in the industry. It has sold 500 million games total in the 22 years it's existed in. The series
I'm not
is here to
surprised.
say, like, even if Activision sells off any credibility the series might have had, it's been a long time coming, but general opinions about these games are starting to shift, and bizarrely, it does seem like the Beavis and Butthead skin kind of really kicked it off. It's not that it was so incredibly bad, it's just that for a lot of players, it's the last straw. For years, players were putting up with dumb operator skins like Skeletor and the Fallout stuff and Gundam and Nicki Minaj and that one based on that god-awful Crow remake for whatever reason. All that, it was bad, it is out of place, but the cartoon skins as of late seem like they're just too much. And compared to Battlefield 6, it's like night and day. It's still possible DICE could screw it up. They have a habit of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. But at least at the time of writing, it does seem like Battlefield has a chance to overtake Call of Duty at least this year. Maybe in hindsight, that will seem ridiculous because, let me remind you, this entire conversation kicked off because people were tired of the goofy-ass skins dominating Call of Duty. Could really be a gamer bubble situation where the whole thing seems like a huge conversation, but the wider casual gaming audience who are buying all of these hideous skins couldn't care less. Keep in mind, Call of Duty, while yes, the core gaming demographic does care for it, so does the not core gaming demographic. In order to sell 500 million copies of games, even over that period of time, you have to appeal to people who are not hardcore. And as such, Call of Duty just continues to be an anomaly. It continues to defy all expectations. So you really can't say what's going to happen. It's still around. It still continues to dominate the sales charts. It's a series that just seemingly cannot die, no matter how many times Activision screws up. And Activision is Activision. We know they are good at screwing up. Perhaps this year will be different. I am not discounting the possibility, but I'm also not counting on it. They're making money hand over fist, so our complaints might barely even register. Remember, they're listening, they hear us. With how things seem to be doing internally, Modern Warfare 4 is probably going to get delayed again, and we'll somehow get Black Ops 8, and that'll make Modern Warfare 3 look like a masterpiece of completion in comparison. Could be that all of this is unnecessary and things turn out fine. Could be that they don't. I mean, look at Beavis and Butthead. You're looking at footage of Call of Duty. I mean, I like I still like Call of Duty, but that doesn't mean they're not long past their due for a big decline if they don't understand that they're at a crossroads. And if they don't turn things around, this could be where that decline starts. If anything's gonna do it, it's this, but also, I don't know if anything's gonna do it. What do you think, though? Leave us a comment. Let us know.
Yeah, like I said, what they really need is just a nice reboot. If you're too young to remember like the PS3 and Xbox 360 days, the two big games everyone played was Halo 3 and Call of Duty. Now, of course, you couldn't get Halo on PlayStation at the time, so PlayStation players pretty much all played Call of Duty. We're like Xbox guys, we kind of switched between those two. And we also did Horde mode on Gears of War sometimes. But what it came down to was Call of Duty was like the biggest thing back then. It really was. I'd argue it was kind of the Fortnite before Fortnite. But you would also say Minecraft is kind of the Fortnite before Fortnite. In a way, which is interesting, Fortnite kind of feels like Minecraft and Call of Duty came together and made a game, and a little bit of Halo and a little bit of Gears in there too. It kind of feels like they took those four pinnacle games and they made just like one game that works to kind of treat every single one of those like fan bases. But you know, it might just be me. With all this stuff I'm saying, guys, if you're a skin person, that's fine. If you like all that stuff, awesome. I just don't get it. And like I said, it might be just because I'm an OG COD player. I'm not one of the Fortnite guys who started on Fortnite and then came to Call of Duty. and is used to the weird skins. I think it's time for a change, and the only way to fix it, what Call of Duty currently have, is just to do a nice fresh restart, and hopefully we'll get one soon. But with Battlefield 6 coming out, they're definitely going to light a fire underneath Call of Duty. I think not this one, but the next one, or maybe not the next one, the one after that for sure is going to be a return to form, or at least I hope so, right? All right, guys, what do you guys think? Are you excited for Call of Duty 7? Do you think that I'm full of shit? Do you disagree with game ranks? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn notifications for more videos. And if you want to check out any more of my videos, they're right here on the screen. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.